What's up, YouTube? We're going to carry on with this theme of sales training, and today we are going to talk about sales training again. So, got really great feedback from the last video, and I've got an idea which I'm going to talk about at the end, and I've got a bonus tip for you at the end, so stick around. But I've got three, that's right, count it, 3 tips that I'm going to share with you. These are processes that we used to use, and this is stuff that I learned over 10 years ago now, and I wouldn't say that it's like right at the top of my mind, but these are things that I've just never lost. These are things that are integrated into who I am now. It was such an impactful time when I learned these. If you don't know, I did door-to-door sales for 2 years straight. I went through, I don't know how many pairs of shoes, how many suits. This was when I learned sales. And the whole reason why I went to it, and you see a lot of people not willing to do this nowadays, the whole reason why I went to it, bear with me here, is I thought I sucked at sales. I thought I still was bad at speaking in front of people, which I think I was. Almost failed high school because of this. I talk about this all the time. But I was like, okay, well, I want to start selling. I want to be an entrepreneur and start my own business. This is before we even use that word. And so how do I do this? Well, I need to learn how to sell. And I can definitively tell you right now, out of all the skills that I've learned, and I'm not the only one to say this, sales and marketing are by far the 2 most important traits everybody on the planet could learn. But yet, if you look at a lot of the people you're listening to right now, they're overweight, insecure, suck at sales, suck at telling stories, suck at conveying a message. You look at the crypto space, for example, which is where I was recently, and kind of now pulled myself out of that world because it's going nowhere. All those people in that market hate marketing. Unless it's their favorite YouTuber, then they accept it. Or unless they want to make more money and somebody seems to have good signals, then they'll pay them for their Discord group. That whole world is going nowhere. That whole group is going nowhere. It's just a bunch of little kids. And the reason why they think marketing is gay and sucks and doesn't work is because they don't know how to do it. And they're fucking cowards. That's why. So you have to learn sales. No way around it. Sorry, but you got to learn sales. Okay, so here's the first one that I'm going to give you. Very basic. Let's start at the top. Law of averages. This is a concept that basically means the more sales conversations that I have, the more doors that I knock on, the more opportunities that I have to sell. So we're going to use a real world example too, by the way. There's, in most suburban neighborhoods in the United States, they have the guys who go and sell like pest services, like what do you even call that? Like house maintenance type services, which is where they spray for ants, they spray for cockroaches, they spray for all the stuff that termites that might, ruin your brand new house. And this is a pretty easy sell because you go to a neighborhood with brand new houses. Easy sell because you just spent all this money on this brand new house. You'd want to protect it, right? Pretty easy sell for old neighborhood because old houses, right? Well, when's the last time you checked it? Well, fill in the blank. This is a reason why you need to do this. And these guys are really great at sales. These guys can actually make upwards of $60,000 in a summer. This is a perfect summertime job for college students or even high school students. I don't know what age you got to be to do it, but I've seen them. I've seen them canvassing the neighborhoods here in the United States, and it's epic to see because that's what I did. I pounded the pavement. And when you see them going in a group of 2, that is a senior training a brand new guy. And there's a whole bunch of rules and leadership stuff I could teach you on that too, because I trained a lot of people. I helped open a brand new office in a city that we hadn't been in well, this particular company hadn't been in years. Okay, so it was considered a worn out territory. Because that's what we called it. Like the zone that you worked is called your territory. And anyway, so we're going to use this in relationship to selling pest services. Okay, so law of averages just basically states that the more doors I see, the more opportunities I have to sell. You need money, right? So if you're selling pest services, that means that you want to see as many doors as you can per day, because that is more sales conversations you can have. Now this goes contrary to what most people believe, because most people are scared of sales. Sales is icky. Sales is scary. Talking to somebody face to face and trying to convince them of something that they probably need is a big, terrifying thing for most people. So you got to get over that out of the gates, okay? And that's beyond the scope of this video. Number 2 is the 4 factors of impulse, as I was taught them, which is the GIFs, okay? It's Jones effect, indifference, fear of loss, sense of urgency, okay? I'm gonna spell this right. And I'll walk you through these. So In society, unfortunately, most people care what other people think of them. Oh my God, shocker. And so, even though I wish that tomorrow this would just be a character trait that was eradicated, insecurity rather, that was eradicated, but it's not, and it's here. So you might as well use it. Everybody wants to be like everybody else, okay? You see this all the time. You see this with designs of backyards. This guy's got a shed, so this guy gets a shed. This guy gets a backyard swing set for his kids, this guy gets one. This guy gets a hammock, this guy, right? You get it. Same with cars. You get a new car in a driveway, neighbors start to get jealous. Maybe I need a new car. Maybe my car's getting old, and they start to question it. You see a woman with fake boobs, women start to think, well, maybe mine are small. Maybe I need bigger ones. This is Jones effect. Okay, so a simple way to do this with, selling the pest service stuff, and I've seen them do this. They walk around with a little iPad, okay? And they say, yeah, hey, we're just in a neighborhood because Janet right down the street, is one of our clients, and we were just checking in on her. And so we figured we'd, knock a couple doors down each way to see what you guys are currently doing for, home protection or whatever, however you label that, right? That's pretty good, actually. That was a pretty good hook. So you'd obviously need to say, hey, I'm John, I'm from such and such. We are just down the street servicing Janet, who's one of our clients. You can see right here. And we just figured, we'd come and check out on you and see what you're currently doing for your blah, 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 fill in the blank. I don't know what they call it, okay? Oh, yeah. And that gets the conversation going. So that's Jones effect. I used it in a way that I wasn't handling an objection. I was just dropping that so I don't even get that objection. Like, why are you knocking on my door? That's a great way to just combat that right out of the gates. And so you can use that in the beginning, or you can use it at the end when you start dealing with objections. So a simple way to do it would be, hey, I want to talk to my husband. Yeah, I completely understand. Janet down the street, she was saying the same thing. We're only out here for today, sense of urgency. And you know what? It doesn't really matter to me, but I just want to make sure you get these discounts and difference because they're only good until the end of today. They're only good until the end of this week, okay? Fear of loss. So I actually, just in those couple sentences, squeezed in literally every single factor of impulse, all 4 of them. Let's continue. Indifference is, look, it doesn't really matter to me. You don't want to say, I don't really care, because that just kind of sounds like, it's kind of off-putting. But what you want to say and how you want to frame it is, look, it doesn't really matter to me either way. I'm in the area today. I just wanted to make sure you got these discounts. Easy. And that's a sense of urgency as well. Fear of loss, maybe. A sense of fear of loss is, yeah, just what I said. We got these discounts today. I just want to make sure you get them. Okay. And sense of urgency is, I'm only out here for today. Let's get this done right now, kind of thing. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to, go and talk to your husband, blah, blah, blah. Right. So those are all ways that you can combat those common objections that you get, because there is, I'm not interested. I want to think about it. Let me talk to my significant other. Let me look up what I'm already doing. I don't even know what I'm paying. I don't even know what you guys do. This is all such spare of the moment kind of thing. And again, that's why they're called factors of impulse, because we want to get them to do something now. And again, psychology 101 is that people make buying decisions on impulse, not on logic. So it's a simple way to get that job done. And that's why those guys crush. It's because they got their, their nice little polo shirts on. We used to wear a fucking full suit. I used to walk around with 2-3-piece suits sometimes. In Miami, because I started in Detroit, by the way. I did this in the fucking streets of Detroit. Like, actually Detroit. Not the nice area, okay? Warren, East Point, Roseville, Macomb. I got into Macomb County. And where else did we go? We didn't go like downtown, but I did tag along with a couple other people into some of the downtown area. And it was rough, had knives pulled on us, guns pulled on us. Because when you walk in with a suit and you're a white guy down there, back then, they thought that I was with some sort of government agency. So I think a lot of times they're just relieved to know that I wasn't, But anyway, so that's your impulse tools that you can use. And I know that they use these, okay? Because this is like the bedrock of sales, all right? And even if you're selling something super expensive, you can still kind of do the same thing. Especially with, Jones effect is, you could be selling something for $5,000, $10,000. It doesn't change the fact that you can use that to, hey, so-and-so is feeling the same exact way, insert story here, reloop to close, right? Sense of urgency, fear of loss, those things can all be used. Hey, completely understand. We've got this sale going on until Friday. I just want to make sure you get it. right? All that stuff can be used no matter what the price point is, all right? Okay, what's the third one? Practice. Now, another thing that we used to do is in the mornings, we would spend 30, 45 minutes practice pitching each other. You imagine how sharp you get doing this? 5 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes every fucking morning, practicing. If you obviously can't get a group of your friends together, or your sales group doesn't do this, which they should, by the way. You'd look like a genius if you suggested this, even though a lot of people would hate it because it's uncomfortable and awkward. But you want to be sharp. We're here to fucking make money. We're here to sell stuff, right? So you can do this in front of the mirror too. And it's just like whatever your pitch is, whatever your introduction is, because everything has 5 components, right? There's the introduction, there's the short story, there's the why I'm here, what I've got for you, close, and then reloop if you need to. 5 parts, okay? If not less. So you can practice this in front of the mirror and get really, really good at this. You need to be able to be okay doing this with selling anything. I've practiced everything that I've ever sold many, many times, either in front of the mirror, I recorded myself on audio, and then I go back and I look at that and I assess. The reason why the mirror is so popular, and you could even video yourself doing this, is because you'll see all your little twitches when you feel uncomfortable or insecure about something that you're saying, or you're being weak at the moment that you need to be strong and take control in the conversation and close. You'll notice all those things and you can kind of like work them out of yourself. And that's hugely important. Okay, so here's the 4th bonus tip I have for you, I promised in the very beginning, is you need to be able to work your leads properly. Now, for door-to-door stuff, this is really easy to talk about. You gotta work your territory correctly. You need to make sure that you are working it either from left to right or right to left. I don't know why you would do that, because we write on a piece of paper left to right, so probably just stick with that. And you need to work that territory that way. So we hit everything here, and we move down, and we move down, and we work it like this from left to right. And we want to make sure that we're re-looping through and we're knocking on missed doors. We're documenting and notating this. Now that's really easy to explain and talk about with door-to-door stuff, but what about online stuff? Well, they have things like HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, and I'm sure a gazillion others that allow you to track your leads, add notes. Infusionsoft probably does it too. And all these things cost money, yeah, and they're not cheap, but they allow you to keep notes and keep track of things so that when you're calling these people and you're emailing them and you're DMing them, you can note what you're doing. And these things are invaluable, okay? Because the average person calls maybe once, maybe twice, but it takes 7 touch points. What's that old school saying? It takes 7 touch points for somebody to buy your stuff. Well, what if it does take you 7 calls or 7 emails or 11 or 20 or 100? Got the sale. You know what I mean? So, and once you turn all this into a habit and doing it over and over and over again, it becomes habitualized. Like to take an hour out of your day every morning to make these cold calls and dial out is not that big of a deal. But the biggest issue is getting past all your own bullshit to actually then do it. And getting past all your fears and all your resistance and all your wah-wah, right? And then just doing it. And the sooner you can do that, the better off you'll be. Even if you just start picking up the phone and dialing random numbers and just talking bullshit. Break the ice, get through it, all the pressure is gone now on that first one, and now here we go. Like let's get into it. Okay, so you gotta be able to work your leads, work your territory, your zone properly, and loop them over and over and over again. Like my approach with the leads that we have and all the people in my community, and some will hate to hear this, but I've got 2 goals: buy my shit or leave. That's it. Like I give out a ton of free, valuable content. You would have to be an idiot not to realize that. So once I get you in, I've got 2 goals. You buy my stuff and improve and get better, or leave. And that is my personality. And I think that is exactly how my personality should be, because yeah, that's what the goal is. That's the intention with all this stuff, okay? You come to me because you want to get an area of your life improved, and I'm here to do that, so why are we fucking around? Like, why are you just jumping around from YouTube channel to YouTube channel trying to pump rainbows up your ass to make it feel like you did something today? How about we just do something today? How about that? So that's it. Video's gone on long enough. If you like this sort of thing, what I would really love is to hear your thoughts on something. I had an idea to do a full-on sales training webinar. This would cost money, but it'd be cheap, $100 or less. And I don't know how long it'd go, probably as long as it takes, anywhere between 2 hours and maybe 4 hours to explain everything that I know about sales and insert all kinds of personal stories and all kinds of mistakes, all the processes, all the systems that I've learned and that I've used since I was in my early 20s, which is probably a lot. So yeah, I'm guessing it'd probably be on the north end of 3-4 hours. Like I said, it'd be less than $100. But if you're interested in that, DM me in the Discord or comment below and let me know what you think. Hit this guy, hit the bell notification and subscribe if you're brand new, or if you're noticing that you're missing updates, not getting notifications. YouTube is making another huge change, which will affect channels like mine negatively. So make sure that you hit that bell notification so that you get more, hopefully more of the alerts. All right, see ya.